People forget just how normal cooperation is. People think that what we're doing is some kind of slightly hippie, maybe experiment, but it's not. It's one of the most fundamental things that people do. They build bridges together and they cooperate, you know.
I've worked in co-ops before and I know how well they can work, especially in this sort of sector that we mostly deal in, community and voluntary sector and campaigning and that kind of thing. I just could see that it would be the obvious structure to choose.
For us, we had certain priorities about the kind of work pillars we wanted. We wanted something that was affordable. We wanted somewhere that was flexible, that we could use for all sorts of different things, in all sorts of different environments. We wanted it to be true to our principles of environmentalism, of having recycling and alternative energy and all this sort of thing. And for that means the cooperative model means that we have control there. We have control over all those aspects. It also means that because there's no profit and there's no landlord, that we can reinvest any profit into the organisation and therefore keep down the costs.
To me, it seems like a much better business model, much less prone to abuse and greed that seems to be the downfall of major financial institutions and stuff at the moment.
They're about seeing the environment that you live and work in as a process rather than just something that you take from and something that you can contribute to, as well as it providing you with the space and the facilities that you need.
And of course you do take an enormous amount of pride in something that you own and that you have a stake in, and you're actually willing to put more hours into it than you would were you just sort of the hired hand, if you like, because you're basically working for somebody else's profits, aren't you? If you're not within a co-op structure.
There are also other things within the co-op movement, ideas of sustainability, of working for others, communication. The 7 principles of cooperativism.
Having a say in how my working environment is run.
Working with other co-ops wherever possible, and so using other co-ops for your services.
There's the support in terms of your ideas and having other people around who are willing to offer you advice. And that's all part of that kind of mutual support. It isn't just a financial thing.
In this city, we've got people like 8th Day Co-op, we've got Unicorn Co-op, we've got film co-ops, we've got the co-op group, the co-op bank, and they form kind of supportive network, a supportive structure there.
Workers' co-ops are, I believe, the most feasible way of taking corporate power away from corporations and putting it into the hands of the workers.
When I worked for Deloitte, the aforementioned massive corporation, it's a question of doing what you're told to do. You don't really think about what you're doing, you don't think about the effects. Whereas in a cooperative, you're involved in every discussion about where your business is going.
Because of the way that the co-ops are generally structured in terms of managing each other, it means that, rather than entering some kind of soulless hierarchy where it doesn't really matter what you think, your opinions matter from day one, do you know what I mean?
Quite often cooperatives are more flexible and able to respond to the individual needs of the workers within the co-op.
And also that there are so many more opportunities to have a much more diverse range of activities in your daily life than just being kind of pigeonholed into one particular role.
There's also a history as well, and one based in social change and political struggle that goes back hundreds of years, that grew up around here in the northwest, in Manchester and also in Hume. So there's a really strong history there, and I'd like to think that every new generation of co-ops reinvents the model of what a cooperative is and what potential change it could have on society. We like to think of ourselves in that tradition as part of a longer, wider co-op movement.